Hi, I'm Mary Jean Vincent, career expert and strategist, LinkedIn expert and salary negotiation queen. I'm here today to talk about female-friendly salary negotiation strategies. Why female-friendly salary negotiation strategies? Well, because women negotiate differently than men, and we often don't negotiate. And that cost us in the neighborhood of $800,000 to $1 million over the course of 30 years. That's a lot of money to leave on the table. So today I'm here to give you 5 strategies for negotiating. Number 1, ask for what you want. Ask for what you're worth. If you don't ask, you're not going to get. I can guarantee that. Now, we're often uncomfortable starting what we think is a difficult conversation, this negotiating conversation. The fact is, the other party doesn't necessarily think it's an uncomfortable conversation or a difficult conversation. It's a conversation they're expecting. They simply have opened the dialogue with the initial offer, and now it's up to us to have a conversation about what we're worth. So when we don't negotiate, when we simply take what we are offered, the other party thinks that they're paying too much. So don't give them the wrong impression that they're paying too much by not negotiating. Number 2, do your homework. You can't negotiate successfully without knowing what your real value is in the marketplace. You have to understand, here's what my skills and experience equate to in dollar figure in this market. Now, how do you find that out? Well, you find that out from salary surveys. Certainly that's one way. But an even better way is to have conversations with your colleagues, particularly your male colleagues, about what your skills and experience are, and then asking, what's that worth in the marketplace? It's impolite to ask them what they're making. That's not an appropriate conversation. It's perfectly appropriate to ask them what they think your skills and experience are worth. And don't just ask one person. Crowdsource it. Use the wisdom of the crowd. When you ask one person, you get one person's opinion. When you ask multiple persons, you get a much better sense of what's really happening in the market. Number 3, you have to identify what your target value is. And then, of course, aim for higher than that. And while you're doing that, you need to figure out what your BATNA is, and that stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. If things don't go the way you want them to go, what are your options? Good to know that before you step in the negotiating room. Number 4, set high expectations. Nobody ever did well setting low expectations, so set high expectations. And finally, keep the negotiation at the table, in the room. Don't start negotiating until you're sitting across the table from the other person. And why do I mention that? Because often as women, we start the negotiation with ourselves. We negotiate ourselves down before we even get to the table. That's not a recipe for success. Remember, when you negotiate the best value that your skills are worth in the marketplace, you've made a good bargain. If you would like to improve your confidence and skill at negotiating, then please take a look at careercoachmonterey.com for my next female-friendly salary negotiation strategies workshop, and look for the early bird specials. I'm Mary Jean Vincent, career expert and strategist.